Australian PM says Melbourne siege a terrorist attack. Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull said on Tuesday police were treating a deadly siege in the southern city of Melbourne as an act of terrorism after a claim by the Islamic State group that one of its fighters was the gunman responsible. Police shot dead gunman Yacqub Khayre, who they said had a long criminal history, on Monday after he killed a man in the foyer of an apartment block in Melbourne, Australia's second-largest city, and held a woman hostage inside. Senior officials confirmed that Khayre had been acquitted of a plot to attack a Sydney Army base in 2009 and was on parole for a violent home invasion at the time of Monday's siege. This terrorist attack by a known criminal, a man who was only recently released on parole, is a shocking, cowardly crime, Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull told reporters in the capital, Canberra. It is a terrorist attack and it underlines the need for us to be constantly vigilant, never to be deterred, always defiant, in the face of Islamist terrorism, he said. Australian police also said they were investigating the siege as act of terrorism after Islamic State claimed responsibility for the attack via its Amaq news agency. They identified Khayre as a 29-year-old Australian of Somali heritage. Amaq said the attack was launched because of Australia's membership in a US-led coalition fighting against the militant Islamist group in Syria and Iraq. Police said they were investigating whether Khayre had any established links with the group. Victoria State Police Commissioner Graham Ashton said earlier Khayre had arranged to meet a female escort at a block of serviced apartments in the beachside Melbourne suburb of Brighton, on Monday. After shooting and killing a staff member when he arrived, Khayre then held the woman hostage for several hours before he burst out of the building and engaged police in a firefight, during which he was killed. The woman was unhurt but 3 police officers suffered gunshot wounds that were not life-threatening, Ashton said. Turnbull questioned why Khayre was not behind bars after a string of offences. Khayre first came to the attention of Australian counter-terrorism police in 2009, when he was one of 5 men accused of plotting an attack on Sydney's Holsworthy Army base, to kill soldiers. 3 of the men were convicted, while Khayre and the 5th man were acquitted. The Victorian Supreme Court was told during that case that Khayre had been a worshipper at a Melbourne mosque and at a nearby prayer hall regarded by police as an incubator of extremist ideology. Also in world news 2 days from UK election, May's record on security in focus after attack. Kabul truck bomb toll rises to more than 150 killed. Afghan president court documents show Khayre migrated as a child with his family to Australia, through a Kenyan refugee camp. He was recognised as a refugee under Australia's humanitarian migration program and later became an Australian citizen, police said. Forensic investigators were at Khayre's family home in Melbourne's suburban Roxburgh Park, according to a Reuters witness. Police said they were also conducting reassurance patrols to calm the neighbourhood. Australia, a staunch ally of the United States, has been on heightened alert for attacks by homegrown militants returning from fighting in the Middle East, or their supporters. Since 2014, police have foiled several major plots in recent years. In December 2014, a gunman killed 1 hostage during a 17-hour siege at a popular Sydney cafe. Another hostage was killed by fragments of a bullet fired by police who stormed the cafe and killed the gunman, who was not affiliated to any militant groups and acted alone. 6 people were arrested over a plan to set off bombs in Melbourne on Christmas Day last year.